Hey guys, how you doing? I've been excited to do this video and I can't wait to do it. So in this video I'm going to teach you how to handle or how to deal with rejection from women, and I'm going to take you through 3 ways in which you can do this. And this changed my life many years ago when I was really struggling with my relationships and my dating, my confidence with women. And I've helped thousands of men over the years to conquer the fear of rejection, build the confidence and get the dating success that they want with women. Bearing in mind, I used to be a professional dating and relationship expert. I'm not a dating and relationship coach anymore. I evolved, I became more of a confidence coach, but I still have all the experience I'm going to share with you today in this video. So if you're new to my YouTube channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell so you're notified when I put new videos out. Also follow me on my Instagram where I share tips, advice, and I answer your questions on how you can control fear and anxiety and build confidence in any area of your life. So let's get straight into this video today. I've made notes here so I don't miss out on anything. So let's just start off with the obvious things. A lot of men are held back with regards to talking to women, getting a girlfriend, getting a wife, improving their dating life, building friendships with women. And they're held back by the fear of rejection, because for most of us, if not all of us guys, of course at some point when we were younger we got rejected by a girl that we really liked and had feelings for, and that messed us up, that hurt our feelings. Subconsciously or unconsciously, that made us feel that we're not good enough, we're not attractive enough, there's something wrong with us, and every woman is going to do the same to us. So if this problem isn't addressed, it only gets worse later on in your adult life, and it can get really bad if it's not dealt with. Like I've said in my post before, it is connected to mental health, which is not really spoken about today because this is a sensitive subject. Some guys can't handle a crushing breakup or rejection from a woman. I'm not saying every guy, but there has been cases where guys have taken their own life, or they've gone into terrible depressions and suffered with unnecessarily anxiety because they didn't have the information or someone to coach them and help them, to come back from a rejection. So rejection holds men back in all kinds of ways. So let's start off. So number 1, the most important thing when you get a rejection from a girl that hurts your feelings is you should move on as fast as possible. And I'll give you some examples of what I mean by that. What a lot of guys do is, for example, if they meet a girl and they have a good conversation, the girl gives them her phone number and they're excited about going on a date. If they start texting the girl and then all of a sudden she changes her mind and says she doesn't want to go on a date, or she's not interested in him in that way, or she's found another guy, or she's got a boyfriend, that will usually hurt their feelings so bad that they will stop dating. They won't continue going out and looking for a girlfriend because the rejections hurt them so much. So that's very dangerous to do that, because you could be waiting for 10 years for the next girl to come in your life, or even longer. Plus, during that time that you're waiting, you're being damaged by that blow. It's affecting you, it's affecting your mind, your mental health, your self-esteem. So moving on is not about being cold and not caring. I always tell guys that it's important to respect women, and of course there are some rejections that it's going to take a little bit of time, especially if you've been in a long-term relationship. But in most rejections, it's within your interest to move on quickly, and I'll explain why. Many years ago when I first got into dating, I was very naive and new, and I met a girl, I fell in love, she liked me, I put all my eggs in one basket. But she ended up dumping me after several, I think it was a couple of months, and it crushed me so bad at that point. I remember getting thoughts of suicide because I was so hurt and broken. I thought, it's over for me, I'm never going to meet a girl like her again. There's never going to be a woman that's going to show me that type of affection and love and attraction that she did at the start. And where did I go wrong? I must have done something really bad for her to change her mind and dump me. So I stayed in that for a couple of years after that, and looking back now, I didn't need to wait that long. So when I gained more confidence later on and got more experience with women and became better at handling rejection, when that would happen to me, I would continue going out dating. I'd always meet another great woman. I'd always meet someone just as good or have just as great connection. So that's why it's important, and you have to understand as well, it's a big world. There's millions of women out there, and if one woman rejects you, I know it does hurt, because you've invested your emotions and you like her, but you have to move on, because if you don't move on, you're just going to be hurting for a long time. Also understanding, like I said, that everything is a numbers game in a sense. I don't like the term game. I don't teach game and pick up on all those tricks. I never teach that. If you know anything about me, I'm all about honesty and being straight up front. But a game in a sense that, the game of life in that, there's many opportunities, like going door to door doing sales. If you knock on 5 doors and, you get turned down 5 times, it doesn't mean that no one's ever going to buy from you. It's like cold calling. You have to keep doing it and getting better at building relationships, and you have to be determined and push through the fears and the failures, and that's when failure equals success. So if you're doing online dating and you get rejected and it hurts, don't stop. Continue to do online dating. Message other women until you meet the right woman. If you're going out and you're approaching women in public or in the park, like I've taught over the years, or in a coffee shop, or in any social situation, don't quit when you get rejected by one girl, or don't quit when you get a phone number from a girl and you're texting back and forward and then she changes her mind, or for example, she ghosts you and doesn't get back to you. That's not the time to quit, because you're only losing out on potentially meeting a great woman because you've allowed one person to hurt your feelings and make you feel that you're not good enough. So moving on is very important. It's the same with like going out again. And it doesn't mean that especially if you come from a long-term breakup, it doesn't mean that you just break up with the love of your life and you just go out and start sleeping with loads of women. I didn't say that, but it would be better to still say social, and go on dates. It doesn't mean you have to sleep with everyone. You have to sleep with anyone if you don't want to. It has to be right for both of you, right? So it's really about having a good attitude towards women. I will say that's important, but a good attitude towards yourself. But yeah, not stopping when you get rejected. That's the main gist of it. The second one, which is so important, I learnt this the hard way, you have to have something to fall back on in your life that gives you your happiness and your self-esteem. Because if you allow rejection from a woman or anyone to ruin your happiness in your whole life, then that's too dangerous. You've got no control over your happiness. You're placing it in the hands of someone else, which you really can't do. A lot of guys do that. So what do I mean by having something to fall back on? What I mean is having a purpose in life as a man, having a goal. I say it in all my videos, because many years ago when I went through that crushing rejection, I didn't have a job, I didn't have a dream, I didn't have anything to put my energy into that could give me that confidence and love. So when I got rejected, it felt so lonely. It really did feel like being abandoned for a period. So if you've already got a purpose, that's great. And it doesn't mean something massive necessarily. It could be, for example, photography or going to the gym. You've got a goal, you've got something that you can aim towards. And what happens is, when you've got that, what that tends to do is it takes your mind off of the pain of the rejection, and it takes those emotions or reduces them. And you should have that anyway. So that's a strong foundation for a man to have in his life in place, is a purpose or a goal or a hobby or something that he's developing that he's passionate about, whether it's boxing, sports, fitness, coaching, photography, traveling, charity, helping people. It doesn't matter, making YouTube videos. It's very important. It will make sense when you practice it. So that's number 2. Number 3, very important, is don't identify with the rejection. What I mean by that is most guys will identify with rejection. Example, when they get rejected by a girl and it hurts, they will allow their mind to tell them that rejection is personal. She rejected me as a person, so I'm not valuable as a man. I'm worthless. I can't be loved by a woman. I'm not attractive, and if she rejects me, that means now every woman rejects me. It's completely untrue. But the mind can be cruel, as you know, and that is the nature of the ego and the mind. And I know that from experience. It's not personal. She's rejected many men before. She's been rejected. Women get rejected by men. It just feels personal because it's happened to you. And what you've done is you've identified with the rejection as part of being who you are, when it's not who you are. Because you get rejected, that's not who you are. And it has nothing to do with your past. So one girl rejected you when you were 13 at school or 14 in a nightclub, and this girl has now rejected you when you're 22 or 25. It's got nothing to do with the past rejection, but the mind will sometimes do that. It starts bringing up data and saying, see, You got rejected at 14 by a girl, and now you've been rejected in your 20s, and it's because you're not good enough, and it's not true. But like I said, if you don't apply step 1 and 2, which is having something to fall back on and continue dating so you can meet another woman and get the success, then you will always identify with it as, I'm rejected, it's me. Yeah, she's rejected going out of you, but it's not, but only really you can reject you. So don't allow the rejection from a woman or anyone in life to make you not love yourself and reject yourself. Very, very important thing to understand. So those are the 3 things. They take practice, but if you apply them, I promise you it will change your life, and over time you'll become stronger. Now, another thing I have to mention, which coincides with these 3, I know it's hard, but it's very important to maintain a good outlook on women, a good attitude towards women. I've learnt this because, number 1, you should respect women anyway, because it's not good, and I don't teach that, as you know or you may not know. I don't teach guys to have this bad attitude towards women, like some of the teachings out there encourage that. I don't have that attitude, because it's not good to treat women like that, and it's also not good to treat yourself like that. Obviously it's a 2-way relationship, it's a projection. If you project animosity onto women, or you think all women are this or they're that because one hurt you, then you're just going to sabotage some really potentially great relationships with women in the future. And it's also a good attitude. It's a great characteristic for someone to be going through rejection but still maintain kindness, positivity, and women will always be attracted to that. Most women will really appreciate that. And everything I'm telling you, this doesn't come out of a book, guys. This comes from me living and breathing and doing this and getting the results for myself, first and foremost, and for so many clients over the years. And I had to learn the hard way. So if you apply these now, you can have these for life. This is going to change your life. And and at the end of the day, the same advice would be for women, and most women will have a backup. I'm not saying every woman, but most women are getting a lot of guys messaging them. My first mentor was right. He said, if you like a girl and you think she's attractive and you want to date her, then that means there's several other guys that feel the same way, and we know that's true. So appreciate women, but at the same time as well, appreciate yourself. And don't get caught up on, oh, I'm going to quit dating now because she rejected me. You must get back on your horse and continue. Life must go on. You must keep moving forward. And this is a much better philosophy and attitude to have in life in the long run than the earlier common one where men get crushed and they quit dating. Rejection doesn't mean it's time to stop. Rejection means that you've got greatness awaiting for you. As Les Brown says, failure equals success only if you continue taking action. But if you stop, it falls apart. So that's it. I hope you enjoyed the video. I'll make more videos on this subject, but those are the 3 points to practice, and it will really help you with your relationships. And I want you guys to let me know in the box below one example of a time in your life where you got rejected and it hurt your feelings. We can have a conversation below. Also, let me know which tip did you think was the best out of the 3. I think they're all great, but I want to know which one did you find the most helpful, right? And I'll see you next video. Remember, become fearless, because when you do, life becomes limitless. Remember, guys, have a good outlook on women, have a good attitude towards women. Just because one woman turns you down, don't go out with the perception and narrative that everyone's going to do that, because they're not. And be respectful and be confident and be a man, and then you'll have great relationships with women. And rejection's a part of life. It happens to everyone. My last thing, all these concepts I teach are not just applying with dating. This is for life. This is in business. This is with friendships. These concepts, life lessons, they go into all areas of life. Just because someone rejects you at work or a friend, that doesn't mean everyone's rejected you, alright? I'll see you soon.